everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marina and I post beauty related videos as well as travel vlogs, so if that sounds like something you're interested in, don't forget to hit subscribe so you can see all my new videos and check out my Instagram, I'll leave up here. So today's video is going to be a battle of the L'Oreal foundations. This is mainly UK based because I know in America and other countries they have got more foundations. Here in the UK at this present time there are 4 L'Oreal foundations excluding BB creams. So they are the L'Oreal True Match Foundation, the Infallible 24-hour freshwear foundation, the Infallible Total Cover foundation, and finally the Infallible 24-hour matte foundation. So I will be trying these on. I'm going to do a half and half so you can see kind of what they look like on my face. I apologise for the light right now. I'm kind of shoved in the corner of my room because we are having our kitchen done, so half my kitchen's in this room and it's dark outside, so I've only got room for one light, so I apologise, but I hope you'll bear with me. So I'm actually gonna talk about these from my least favourite to my favourite, and we're gonna go through the pros and cons of each, the shade ranges, the packaging and everything. So I really hope that you'll find this interesting and useful, and if that's the case then please keep on watching. We are going to be starting at my least favourite foundation, unfortunately. And I'm sorry, but it is the Total Cover which has made it in 4th place. So first of all, let's talk about the packaging. It's a nice plastic tube with a lid that you screw off, and then you have got something that you can squeeze out at the bottom. Now for the packaging, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. It's good in terms of getting every drop of foundation out, and you can just snip off the top. However, it is plastic, and you all know we're struggling as a planet to be renewable, and plastic just isn't great for the environment. So a glass bottle would be much more eco-friendly. But then you can't get all the products out of a glass bottle, but I'd much rather have glass because it's better for the environment. So packaging, 4 out of 5. 4 because you can get all the product out, but it doesn't get full marks because it's plastic. The shade range on this foundation is very poor, unfortunately. I think there's about... See, it's really hard because I feel like they're going to discontinue this, because I was trying to find the shades online and it was really difficult to actually find the shades, but I feel like there's about between 6 to 8 shades, and there is 1 shade for people of colour and 1 shade does not obviously fit all, so that shade is not going to fix everybody. And also for people like Asian skin who are dark but not very dark, there'll be nothing in this range to suit that skin tone, unfortunately, which is really sad because I feel like brands should be catering for everyone. So yeah, shade range unfortunately is going to get a 2 out of 5 stars because it's just not a good shade range at all, unfortunately. Consistency, it's a mousse consistency which makes it quite thick and cakey, unfortunately. It is a full coverage foundation, so coverage wise it does get a 5 out of 5 star because it is full coverage. However, on my personal skin, at the moment my skin's dry to normal. It's winter, so this is the driest my skin's ever going to be. And it just looked so cakey on my face when I wore it. I could see all my pores, so I wouldn't repurchase this, and I personally wouldn't recommend it to anyone with a similar skin to me. So yeah, it was just a bit too thick and a bit too heavy and cakey for me, so that's why this foundation is ranked at number 4. Okay, next up we have got in 3rd place the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour matte foundation. So again, same packaging as the previous bottle. It's going to get a 4 out of 5 because it is plastic. The shade range, now they have actually repackaged and added a lot more shades to this. However, when I bought this, it was the same story as this one. There's only about between 6 to 8 shades, and I do find that this particular one comes off very pink toned or very dark and orange. There was no kind of in between, so this shade was not right for me. It was far too pink. But now I know they've added a lot more shades, so I haven't tried any of the new shades. There probably is a better one out there for me, but this is all I had to work with. So I can't really comment on the shades at the moment because they have extended the line, which is fab. But before, it would have been, again, not good because you need to cater for all skin tones. But now they have, so that's a good thing. The foundation itself, it's a matte finish, so anyone with oily skin, this is going to work really well. It was really long wearing. Didn't talk about the long wearing longevity of this one. I'll probably give it a 3 out of 5 because I felt like it did go slightly oily. Even though my skin was dry, I could see it was going oily and it was wearing off a little bit, so 3 out of 5 for that one. This one, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 in terms of the wear. It wears really nicely. It does last. I don't have to top it up throughout the day, which I don't do anyway. I put my makeup on and it needs to stay on except for lipstick. So if a foundation doesn't last all day, then I just don't like it. This one did last all day. It is a really nice foundation. I don't know why I've given this 3rd place, because I prefer it to the True Match. Okay, we're gonna change it. Oh, okay, I've just thrown it. I'm not gonna show you any more of it because now it's on the floor. But yeah, it's a nice matte finish. So very good for oily skin. It's quite a thin consistency. It's more of a liquid rather than this one, which is a mousse. So overall, let's do an overall rating. This mousse one is gonna have probably 2 out of 5, and the matte one, I'm gonna give it a, actually no, this can have, I feel bad giving it a 1. Okay, this can have a 2, and then I'm gonna actually give the matte one a 4 out of 5 because they have extended the shade range. It is a nice foundation. It does last well. So yeah, I'm actually going to give that one 2nd place. It's jumped up the ranks a little bit because I don't know what I was thinking. So this is my true 3rd place. And this is the True Match foundation. It is probably the most popular foundation within L'Oreal. There is 40 shades of this. So, you know, that's a really good shade range. And also with this one, they actually have them in warm, neutral and cool, where the previous shades did not have that specific function. So if you know you're warm toned, you would know to go for a warm tone, so it makes it a lot easier to pick out a shade. I will say with some of these, I don't know how, if you're going to even be able to see it, but in some of them, certainly not all of them, there is actually glitter in the formula. If I try and shine my light, I really don't know how well you're going to see. Has that just made it worse? But this one has got glitter in it. I can definitely see it in there. I really don't know if that will pick up on camera. I really hope it does, but even if you go to a Boots or a Superdrug, just pick up some of them, and some of them have got glitter in them. which gives a very nice glow to the skin. However, when I had it on the other day, I was looking in the mirror and I could actually see the glitter particles on my neck. So some people might not want them. Not all the shades have it, only some of them do. So if you don't want that, just make sure you have a look before. The packaging is a glass bottle, so really good for the environment. However, sometimes when you're at the very bottom, it can be hard to squeeze the last drops out. And in these particular bottles, it's extremely hard to actually take off the silver bit here. This has got SPF, where none of the other L'Oreal foundations do. It's got SPF 17 in it, and this is a pigment mixed with moisturiser. It's very, very good if you have dry skin, or if you are looking for more of a glowy foundation rather than something matte. I would say the coverage is more light to medium, but you can build it up to a fuller coverage. So for me personally, it's too oily for my skin, so I wore this the other day because I wanted to test it out for this video, and make sure that what I was saying was 100% accurate. And it is lovely, it looks lovely on the skin, it is nice coverage, it is, like I say, quite light. I did have to build this up a little bit more than I would have liked to. Other foundations, I can do one layer and I'm good to go, but with this one I felt like I did need more, especially on my problem areas, which are like my cheeks and my chin, wherever I have scars. And it really didn't last on me. I looked in the mirror at work and it had come off around my nose, and it went quite patchy. And I know I did have a cold, so I was blowing my nose a little bit, but it just didn't last the way that I like a foundation to last. And I tried it with a mattifying primer and a different powder, and it just was the same result. So unfortunately on my skin this wasn't long wearing. I mean, if you don't mind topping up your makeup, then it won't be a problem, but purely for the fact it came off, it just made it go down in the list for me, unfortunately. And that's why the matte foundation took over the place of this one, because of the wear of it, really. But overall I'd give it a 3 out of 5. It's a lovely foundation, the shade range is amazing, it's a great price. It's comparable a little bit to the Urban Decay Naked Skin foundation. If you tried that and you want something more affordable, I definitely recommend this. But yeah, this gets my 3rd place. And then my number 1 foundation, it is of course the L'Oreal 24-hour Fresh Wear foundation. I love this, as you can see. I've got many different shades. I've got more in my backup drawer. The packaging, again, it's a glass bottle, so it's good and sustainable for the environment. There is a number of different shades. There's 26 shades, so it's not as much as the True Match. I feel like this is very good shade range for lighter skins. There is a few for darker skins, but I feel like, again, if you're kind of a darker Asian, then the colours are a little bit more orange, which doesn't always look right, if that makes sense. And the darker shades do have quite a lot of pink undertones, so it can look very ashy. So it's just something to keep in mind. Hopefully L'Oreal will bring out more foundation shades in this range. The coverage, I would say it's medium to full coverage, definitely can be built up to full. Formula's liquids, not as liquidy as the True Match, but I just love this. This one has got oxygen technology, so it lets your skin breathe while you wear it. And yeah, that's all I really want to say. This is really long wearing. This has been one of my favourite foundations since it launched last year. I think it's been out for about a year, this new formula. But I do really love it. I would highly recommend it. I would repurchase it. It gets my number 1, definitely. It's probably my favourite drugstore foundation, which is putting it out there. But yeah, I do really love this one. It gets my number 1. It is, some people have said it's comparable to Double Wear, but not as thick, but in terms of the finish on the skin and the way that it lasts, it's definitely comparable. I don't believe there is a SPF in here, so you won't get any flashback. It is 24-hour wear, so it says I've never had a problem with it wearing. So overall, this gets a 5 out of 5 from me. I really absolutely love this foundation. It's my little baby. So that is my rundown of the L'Oreal foundations. I'm going to apply a clip now of me applying them to my face, just so you can see what they actually look like on the skin. So I am applying the L'Oreal True Match foundation in the shade 4D4W. Now the 4D is actually French, so you can ignore the first bit, and we are just gonna, when you're picking a shade, just focus on the second number and what's it called, letter. So W stands for warm, so warm is more of a yellow golden foundation, cool is more pink, and neutral is like a bit of both. So I do actually have more of a neutral undertone, but I do really like to wear a warm toned foundation, warm or neutral. That is actually a really nice match. So that was about one pump. Well, yeah, about one. You can build it up. I'm just going to take what's left on my hand and just look at the stain on me. I'm so sorry I look royal. I actually really like that. That is stunning. Especially compared to this side. So that is the True Match. It's really nice, glowy, really pretty. So then on this side, I'm going to use the Freshwear foundation. This one is the most similar to True Match, but it has got more coverage. So let's pop. And this is the shade 135 Radiant Vanilla. I have got some other shades of this which I will be showing with you at the end. Now the True Match has got 40 shades, and I can't remember off the top of my head the Freshwear. I have it written down, so I will check in a moment. And they claim that this Freshwear is a dupe of Estee Lauder Double Wear, but it is not as thick as Double Wear. But I love this. I literally wore it for about a year every day. It's one of my favourite foundations. Absolutely gorgeous. So I think you can see it's a little bit more of a matte finish, where the True Match definitely has got more of a glow, but that's just like one pump, and it's given a really good amount of coverage. So really nice. So that's just one layer. I would probably put a little bit more on my cheek area, just because I have got problem skin. So that was the shade 135, and just quickly I've got here 130, which is one shade below, and 110 Rose Vanilla. Sorry, 130 is True Beige. Now 130 is actually lighter. So we've got 135, 130 and 110. So 110's on the bottom. And I don't know if you can see, I will swatch these on my arm, but this 130 is actually lighter than 110 when it's on the skin. I don't know how well that's going to pick up. I'm going to do swatches of these after. So next up I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour matte. Unfortunately, this isn't the right shade for me. This is in 20 Sand. It's okay, but it is quite pink toned. I'm going to be using this on, again, one side of the face. This is quite a good coverage, I'd say medium, similar to the freshwear in terms of coverage, maybe slightly more. Okay, so that is one pump. Well, it's not a pump because it's a squeezy tube, but one go of the matte foundation. I really like this, like coverage wise. I suppose if you could see here, I've just had my brows done and she's obviously cut me. It hasn't covered that in one layer, and you can still see a little bit of my scarring there, but on one layer I don't think that's too bad. And then on this side we are going to use the L'Oreal Total Cover. I really do not like that handle in my video, thank you. Oh, so this one is more of a mousse consistency, if I show you, where the others were all liquid. So as you can see, you can do that and it's not sliding or going anywhere. It's definitely more of a mousse, and this one is full coverage. I actually wore this one yesterday to kind of remind myself of my feelings and opinions on this, and I'm not a fan. I'm really not a fan. It's too heavy, it's too cakey. I feel like if you mixed it in with a moisturiser or just used a tiny bit and mixed in with a lighter foundation like True Matte, it would be okay, but it just looked really cakey on me. And yeah, every time I looked in the mirror I felt like you could see all my pores. Obviously my skin isn't the best at the moment, but it is really good coverage, so I feel like it goes oily a little bit quickly as well. But if you do want full coverage for a really affordable price, this is good. So that is the matte one. So you can definitely tell, I feel, that the coverage is more. So this one is the matte. Sorry about banging, there's builders outside. And then this is the Total Cover. So I will zoom in slightly. So you can see it has given me really good coverage there compared to that side. But it is just too cakey for a daily basis. So I'm going to do my makeup properly and then come back. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of swatches of the Freshwear foundation going in order. So first is 110 Rose Vanilla. Gosh, I was not even in shot, I'm real sorry. There you go, that's Rose Vanilla there. Then next up we have got 110, which is, no, 130, sorry, which is True Beige. So you can see that 130 is much lighter than 110, and more of a neutral tone. 110's definitely got more of a pink undertone. And then we're going for 135, which is Radiant Vanilla, which is my normal shade that I have been wearing. So that is there. And then finally I have got a little sample of the shade 200 Golden Sand. So that actually quite a nice colour. So that is all of the shades together, just so you can see. It amazes me how that one's so light. And then I'm going to do some swatches of the freshwear because I do have quite a lot of shades, so I just wanted to show you the difference in the shades for that. So I'll pop those in now, and thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that it helped or you enjoyed watching. Please thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!